Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video we are going to be doing a tier list video. I know people love doing these, with the comments and everything. People have their strong opinions about, oh, this guy didn't, play the game this much, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, man, like, you need to chill on those comments because everyone's experience is different, especially for a gacha game anyway, where this is all about the probabilities and chances and, um, the rates, and it makes things random for each player, right? Like not everyone has this character. Now everyone has character B or whatever, A, B, whatever, C. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand. So this is a of course opinion based. Is not supposed to be like end all be all kind of thing. This is just purely for fun, and this is just my tier list and what from my perspective of things. There are people that just go around pretending to know that, oh, this guy plays this much, right? This many hours. Like, wow, okay, damn, man, all right. If that's how you spend your weekends, that's all you. But geez, that's definitely better use of that time. That's my opinion on that one. But anyway, not gonna go through too much, but there are some updates that are kind of worth mentioning. So there are some changes that I meant to do, but I forgot to do, like having Albedo, for example, in a different place. So I have him in this area, you know, uh, and let me also make this clear that the order isn't necessarily like, something to take to consideration too much, other than the fact that, okay, these are, characters that have a very niche specific support, for example, right? Um, these two kind of have similar gameplay styles with the charge shot and everything, kind of like with Ganyu, as of course. Um, Mileage is may vary, and damages and all that stuff. Not everyone's this unit does this much damage because of the equipment they lack or the artifacts they lack. Substats, this is why these opinions that I see in the comments are kind of that much more wild just because of that stuff. It's like, well, I'm sorry that I didn't expect that, or I didn't experience the same thing that you did, even though this game is all about having different experiences, right? Just like a lot of things. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm getting riled up on those situations. So anyway, yeah, so Albedo and Shenhe are kind of like that same field almost. So obviously with Albedo, he supports Geo, and Shenhe supports just Cryo and stuff like that. So for what they do it pretty well, but do you really need them? That's the kind of thing, right? Like they are very niche. So that's why I kind of put them in this sort of area. It's like, yeah, they're S tier for what they do, but you're not really going to use these things too much, especially with what's been happening as of these updates, right? Baizu, I've had him here, but I'm gonna actually shoot him up somewhere. At least somewhere here, or even somewhere along with like Fiorina, because he works very well with Fiorina, in my opinion, because Fiorina, especially now that I have a better understanding of how Fiorina sort of works, um, with the amount of HP that drains away from your party, Baizu can just instantly heal them very, very quickly. Especially once you have C1, you instantly have all the heals that you need, and each cooldown on those skills are more than enough for you to sustain for the battle, especially for Spiral Abyss. Very good, and these two are very good together, in my opinion. Baizu has other applications, obviously, with other teams, obviously, but specifically for me, my eyes sort of opened more for Baizu when it came to using Fiorina and stuff like that. They work very well together because of that. Kokumi is another one, but she's a little more specific, I think, if that's a way to put it. But I know that Baizu is very good in that specific need. So that's why I put him together with Fiorina, because from my experience, they work well, very well together. So that doesn't mean, of course, Baizu is better than Al because obviously they're different, completely different units. I'm just saying that these two work very well together. But I guess just for the sake of things, I'm just gonna go ahead and put him somewhere like around here with the along with the other support units. But he's pretty like universal at this point because of the whole like HP loss mechanics with that these Fontaine units have for right now. So definitely healers like Baizu are shining a little more, I think, and it definitely is a need for that too. And I forget to mention too, Nouvelet is exactly that character too. He drains his own HP quickly because of his mechanics, and so Baizu helps him out with that too. In that instance, just to make sure he doesn't die. Sure that his orbs, right, that he sucks in do heal him at the start, but once he shoots that giant beam of, once he does the hydro pump, hydro cannon, whatever you want to call it, his HP disappears quite a bit, and that's why you want someone like Baizu to just instantly heal. He's got some fat heals too, at that with his scaling and all that stuff, and plus his ultimate has a shield to it. So before then, I didn't have a need for Baizu just because not too many characters had those mechanics. So it didn't really warrant the need for someone like Baizu because he just heals so fast. Maybe that might have been a double-edged sword back then, but now he definitely has a use for sure. So now would I put him up with like Bennett or something like that? Not quite, but you know what I mean? Like as a healer though, he definitely excels, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him right there. He's still S tier. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if he's like there at that position or if he's up there. You know what I mean? He's an S tier, right? And I should make that clear, right? When you're an S tier, you're an S tier, right? Like unless there's a very specific reason why I put certain characters in those spots. So I don't have a reason, any particular reason for Kokomi to be right there, for example, right? She's there just because I don't know where else to put her, right? Besides being S. But Kokomi can be very good for specific teams and stuff like that. So she can be like the best unit for this very specific team, possibly. But if some people don't have those other units to make those teams, it's like, well, where does she go then, right? Like, what does that make her, for their tier lists? So that's why these tier lists, right? You want to, not just take a look at one, but a bunch of them just to take notes and like have different perspectives. I think that's pretty healthy that way. You know what I mean? Instead of like make these like unnecessary arguments like, oh, this guy definitely doesn't know what he's talking about kind of thing. Like, bro, it's just opinions, right? I mean, all right. So anyway, um, so I'm just gonna put him right there for right now for Baizu, but Baizu definitely works very well for those characters that have their HP drained and stuff like that. For a number of those characters. Dory, I forgot to put her like somewhere around here too. Um, I would just put her right there with Chi Chi or something like that. Even right here, D for Dory, kind of appropriate, right? Because at least with Amber and Shinyan, they kind of do something useful, but like Dory can work with what's his face Sinnoh, right? But it's just that one use, and that one use isn't really all that useful anyway. So that's why I would put her somewhere in D or even like lower C. That's the specific reason for that grading. But I don't know honestly. So I would just put her between these two because Amber is, yes, she's still terrible. Xinyan, yeah, she's still unfortunately terrible, right? Dory is just kind of like no use in my tier list. That's why I put her in D. Maybe the highest I can be generous with is C, honestly. Now that like well, first off, I kind of completely forgot about her. That's why I didn't really move her to the bottom part of the tier list. But I definitely have no use for her. Um, some people do, and if you want to put her on higher on the tier list, that's all you. That's your experience. But from my experience, my perspective, I'm sorry, Dory is D for me. Again, pretty appropriate, D for Dory, right? Now, can she make her own energy? Sure, but at least Chi Chi can help heal with just her skill alone. Her skill, Dory's skill is kind of just like super whatever, if not like what the hell is this, right? At least with Shinyon, she can provide a shield of some sorts. So honestly, I think with that, um, yeah, maybe Amber is the worst one, maybe, but if you can build her to do damage, I mean, it is possible, sure, but can you do the same for Dory? I don't know. I mean, but I don't know. Either way, she's a D, so she's a D tier character no matter what. So, Chi Chi is just hanging on, just because she can heal, pretty good with her skill, with the marking and everything, right? The towel marking, whatever you call it, all that stuff. But she's C because she doesn't generate her own. She can't generate energy. That's like kind of an issue unless you get constellations, which is like kind of dumb because that's like the basic function of everyone else. Basically, even I guess Dory to an extent can do that, but she doesn't heal with her skill. So I mean, to each their own. But I would put Chi Chi in C, but barely kind of still still like come on, man, come on. Why would Hoyo like leave her like that? It's so weird to me, to this very day. Um, is there anyone else that needs to be moved or anything like that? Not really. I mean, this is kind of like appropriate to be honest. Um, maybe even Aloy can like be in C, but um, I guess she has some sort of use for some teams. It's hard to say, but a little more fun, I guess you could say. But anyway, but sometimes yes, I do forget that she's there. She's like the only collab character to this date because of PlayStation and stuff like that. They made a deal, blah blah blah. Like, hey, like we're putting you on our PlayStation lineup. We were wondering if you can do this for us and stuff like that. So, blah blah blah, and all that. Um, Noel actually has shot up. Sounds like for a number of people, right? Because of Fiorina. Certain characters can definitely change up other characters. Kind of like with what happened with Baizu. You know, he definitely now is somewhere, not bottom, right? I mean, or whatever. I mean, he definitely is now a S tier for sure. Like a great healer and all that stuff. I definitely see an application now for Baizu, right? Um, and you know what? In fact, I don't know, man. I find him more useful than like I don't know than a number of these characters, but I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe creep him up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that'll shake up some of these boots. But anyway, um, so I'm just gonna leave it that for right now, and then I'll come back around if I do remember some stuff. So we'll talk about the new characters finally. So um, anyway, so Navia, yeah, she is kind of like the dark horse and a good one at that, I think. She definitely performed not to my expectations in a good way. And I say that because I literally just have two-piece attack, and she's doing big numbers with her skill. It's kind of crazy. Granted, it does take some things to set up. She needs crystal shards, and you kind of have to build something somewhat specific of a team. You should have another Geo character on your team, so you're likely to have Noelle. So that's why probably Noelle is getting a little more use. But I have Zhongli. So Zhongli definitely fills that very well for that initial other Geo character in that slot. And then Navia can definitely have the Geo Resonance, which allows for, I think, a Resistance Shred of sorts. I have to check up on that, but I would say right away she's kind of like up here because she does quite a bit of damage without too much cost, right? And she um can just like literally have two piece attack, and she's already gonna be doing stupid numbers. Now, granted, I did get her axe, her 5-star weapon, so that does shake up things a little bit for me anyway. So again, this is my tier list, so this is where I'm coming from. So I'm definitely putting her right there, right off the bat, along with Ayaka and Hu Tao, right? There's nothing that costs her or anything like that. She just has to pick up crystal shards, so it does take a little bit of a fulfillment of swords. She does have a checklist of swords to do that much damage, and so once she picks up 6 shards, right? Because there's like the initial bullets, and then you have the bigger bullets. So you can launch it like that, but if you get all those bullets, or yeah, all those bullets lining up like that, then she does those very very big numbers. The highest I ever got up to this point with Navia is 300k, and that's pretty crazy. That's not even like with like crazy artifacts and things like that. Like I said, it's a two-piece attack, two-piece attack. Now the substats are pretty decent, I would say at least. I made sure that I have crit damage for sure, since her weapon is a crit rate main stat. So that I definitely made sure that was in mind. Um, Along with, of course, any other bonus crit rate that I get along the way. Attack, energy recharge, that's also fine. I mean, she's really fun too. She's so much fun. I love the shotgun umbrella thing. It's so satisfying to land. She's just really fun. That's like a huge, that's an important factor for me personally. Obviously, the performance in these tier lists are supposed to be the forefront, of course, but then again, this is my fucking tier list, so right, you know what I mean. But anyway, um, either way, Navia I think is performing pretty well, but I feel like this is a character who is going to get power crept, um, quite easily, depending on what's going to be in store for Nadalin and of course Nesnaya, right? But for right now, she does a lot of damage. It's really stupid damage too with her shotgun, and then not to mention her ultimate or her burst, excuse me. It's just stupid fun. It's just a bunch of cannons firing down, kind of like an AC-130 or artillery fire, that sort of thing. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for that. Um, I really did not expect for Navia to be this cool. And of course, she is a good character, I think, in the story. I mean, they made the story um, or they made her very compelling from where she's coming from and all that stuff. And I grew to care her a lot in the story. And then once I saw her gameplay, I'm like, oh no, I didn't think that I want her that bad. So I pulled for her. I got her along with the weapon. I got very lucky on the weapon, so I am able to experience a good amount of Navia's kit, her power, her damage output, and everything. So that's why she's right there, along with Al Haidam and stuff like that. From my perspective, so I mean, she could well be right here with Yoimiya, but she's doing stupid numbers right now. So that's why I put her up here along with like Hu Tao and Ayaka, for example. Um, so, anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say for Navia. Great character all around, including story and even, of course, gameplay wise. Although, granted, I have not taken her to the current Spiral Abyss. I've already beaten that one with New Valette and stuff like that. But um, from what I can experience, yeah, I definitely am enjoying Navia with her numbers and her just her overall gimmick. It's just pretty fun. She has nothing to scale with, so she's not that needy. She's a pretty straightforward DPS character. So she's actually kind of beginner friendly, and not only that, she does quite a bit of numbers. So, um, anyways, up next is Chevreuse. Chevreuse, I was not able to get her, so I can't put a full assessment on her. But from what I can see, she seems to be pretty good. So I would go ahead and put her up there along with like a couple other um characters. Maybe for right there for right now, only because I don't have her. But maybe if I do have her, I have her all kitted out and everything. Maybe she at best could be like up here along with facial and stuff like that. So but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just put her around like Leia and Kirara and stuff like that. So um and even like Sucrose and stuff like that. So um any of these characters will do you right for as 4-star supports. So um that's pretty much it for the new characters. It's funny that we have Sean Yun and Gaming or Gaming, right? As a lot of people like to call him right now, because they definitely had fun with that name, I guess. But I forgot to say about Neuvillette mentioning him. I think he's honestly up here. Like I think he really, really shot up to up here. Um, and maybe even like right there on the cusp, right? But just kind of appropriate because of what happens in the story. So anyway, but just like kind of floating along with like Navia and almost with Raiden Shogun, because I do feel like at some point Diglett will get power crept, but at least with Raiden, she always has something that's very valuable for everyone, which is energy recharging everyone else. She is a big battery, you know what I mean? So that aspect of herself is very valuable, and I'll always keep her up there in terms of like her place, you know what I mean? She'll always have a place in your team just because of that, I feel. Um unless there's the only way for her to get knocked off or knocked down rather is just having a better Raiden Shogun, just someone who does the battery better, that's really the only way for her to go down. So I don't really see the reason for right now of why she should go down from my tier list anyway. But yeah, I mean, Neuvillette just does stupid damage, especially once you have. Funny enough, these four can do it like so simply. It makes things a lot more simple. Um, I've been having him and then I'll hide them being my main DPSs, and they just go ahead and shred everything. Especially once you have the right units. Especially with Fiorina, um, it makes things a whole lot easier too. It's really, really stupid. And then Visor, right? Visor just makes it really easy just to make sure that they sustain real good. So um like I don't know. Like I feel like even Ridley um will be right here just because from I was able to play with him there for the trial versions. Um I just I'm not really feeling it for right now unless I get my own Ridley and then kit him for myself. But the way he plays, as much as he looks cool doing it, I just don't like the feel of it. I don't buy it for right now. But Baizu, I buy him, right? He just has the fattest heals for me. He just he fills their HP, Nuvola and Fiorina is just like right away. So I don't even have to switch to Fiorina's thing to the healing mode. She just keeps doing the support DPS mode or whatever. So that's really cool. So again, Baizu just rose up for me in value. So I am tempted to put even him like more up there with like um maybe with like Venti or something, right? You know, but I'm just gonna put him down here for right now. Um or even like maybe even like up here because just because I don't have child, I don't have Nilu, but whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and put him down right here. So um yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me make sure like I don't have anyone else like kind of in weird places, but for the most part, hey, if you're an A, you're an A, right? I mean, you know that kind of thing. If you're an S, you're an S. You're S tier unit no matter what. Um, so try not to take too much pay too much mind into the order. I try not to anyway, but there are times where this one unit is just like universally good. Like Raiden Shogun, for example, Zhongli, Navia, and then of course now like units like or characters like Nouvelle, for example. Kazuya is still up there, Ben is still up there, and then Fiorina definitely has her place. Al Haydam is still slapping for me. Navia is the new coming slapper as well. So it's things like that. I mean, um, you know, it is what it is for right now. We'll see about where Sean Yun lies and then Gaming lies. I'm not sure how they're going to sort of like actually come out as an official release. You know, we can talk all we want, but um you know, we only know until they actually come out. So, anyways, thank you very much for this tier list of rendition of Genshin as a 4.3. I really do appreciate if you guys all made it all the way through. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out. Really do appreciate it, guys. If you have any different opinions, I'd be more than welcome to see them in the comment section below, as long as you keep them friendly, of course. You know, try not to be that guy or gal thinking that you know each player's play time based off of the characters they place in their tier list. That's so weird to me, man. I don't know. That's just some weird mentality shit on the internet. But anyway, um, uh, don't forget to check out all the like supporting links in the description below. It helps me out, and you guys get something potentially cool out of it. So, really do appreciate you guys as always. And I'll do my next video for Star Rail. I'm pretty sure there's a couple characters to talk about, definitely. So, again, thank you very much, and hope to see you all in the next video. Sean out.